My name is Amy Wilson and I'm a small group leader. I think that, my heartbeat for the small groups has always been that everyone is welcome. We never want to make it exclusive. People know going into our group that it's not going to be a max of 10, and if you want to invite your friend from work that you can't, because that's not what I would want out of the group. I would want you to be inviting your coworkers, to be inviting the people that have come alongside your life. We always want to have people within the small group invite their friends. So naturally the group is going to grow. I think that a healthy thing is something that grows. And so since our group has grown, we've had to have conversations about, splitting the group, multiplying, branching out, whatever you want to call it. It's just not as intimate, it's not as personal when more people are coming. Maybe the people that are within the group aren't going to share as much. If it's me just asking the questions and it being a silent room, I start getting the idea that people are not as open anymore with the size. And so kind of having to break that down and allow people to really share and open up and live life together, I think, is where change starts to happen, rather than just showing up and hearing a message. And so I've had to, bring up the conversation. It's not always a good one, and we knew things need to happen. So the two guy leaders that kind of stepped up to help me through this whole splitting process, we just all started talking about it a little bit outside of the group, communicated via email and text and things like that. Then we got together a couple of times in person and really had to work through those details. And, do we want to split to two co-ed groups? Do we want to do a girls group and a guys group? Like, what's best for everyone in the group? And the nice thing about that split was that, the guys kind of came forward with what the guys wanted to do, and then I kind of talked with the girls. And so we kind of kept the boundaries there, which was really nice, because we are like a young professionals group. And so it was just nice to kind of have the guys' perspective and the girls' perspective. And then honestly, just a whole lot of prayer and just really having people around me to support me through that, so that everyone's feelings and thoughts were heard. We've had lots of conversations back and forth with the people in our group about where the best fit is for them. And so I think that that's what's really important, is getting it to a level where people can ultimately open up and grow. I think if your group is growing, honestly, the first thing that comes to mind is just be obedient and multiply. I guess that's the phrase that I use, because I think that, we are called to just grow a little bit deeper. I mean, we've had girls cry, we've had girls just really open up and share some deep things and work through that. And I think when that stops happening and it's getting big and it becomes a little bit surface level and the answers, I think it's time to just really split or branch out in order to make that group a little bit more dynamic. And so if you're unsure about whether to do it or not, my advice would be to do it. If you're questioning it, then you probably need to do it, and to not think of it as a scary step, because I think that the Lord would see that as growth. And as I mentioned before, healthy things grow, and so it's a blessing and it's a good thing. And going through the splits a couple of times now, it's not easy by any means, and it drives me bonkers sometimes and stresses me out, only because I just want everyone to be happy and on board, and getting them all on board and happy is not always the easiest thing to do. But ultimately, I can honestly look back at it all and say that God has blessed it and has put the people where they needed to be, and it's continued to grow.